Hi, hello everybody. I decided to, create this video in order to show you exactly how you're going to submit your circuit assignments within Brightspace. Okay, I don't want to have anybody have a low grade on the assignment submission, so you're going to have to watch this video in order not to make a mistake on the assignment. Each week you're going to have an assignment. They're going to be found within the folder circuits, and you have it here, circuits. There's an introduction in how you're going to be graded. I have three videos. The one that I'm creating now is the first submission example video. And I have a couple files, which is the tutorial and the errors, which you should read them. Okay. Especially the first video, the first two videos you're going to have to watch. Okay. The sub-circuits within one folder video and the first submission video are required for you to watch. And the reason for that is that, again, there's this very specific way that you need to do this in order not to be deducted points from your assignment, especially because in future assignments, your final circuits are going to depend on the previous circuits, and you're going to have to connect them within Logisim. All right. In addition to that, there's a specific way that you have to name your file. You cannot name it whichever way you want to name the file. There's a specific way. In the assignment, I show you here um, for your first and second circuit, homework C12, and your last name. For the circuits 3 and 4, homework circuit 3, 4, and your last name. So this is the file, the Logisim file that the operating system sees it. So it has to be named that way. In addition to that, once you open each of the assignments inside Logisim, you're going to have a sub-circuit for each circuit that you have. So there's going to be a sub-circuit for circuit 1. There's going to be a sub-circuit for circuit 2 and circuit 3 and circuit 4 and so on and so forth. Okay? Now, once you open Logisim, let's assume that this is your circuit 1 and 2. Okay, so there's two assignments. The first one is going to be called full adder. So within the assignment, I'm not going to show it here, but once you open the assignment, you see the assignment is going to be called full adder, and you need to label it as FA. So this is what you need to know. So right here, you see a subfolder entitled with no name. It says unentitled. All right. You're going to right click over there and you're going to add a circuit. If you click on add a circuit, you give it a circuit name, right? If you call it FA, for example, which is the name that you should be calling your first assignment, it creates a new subcircuit, okay, which is fine. All you have to do is delete the first one, or just rename the first one FA. Now, once you're in FA, on the canvas here on this right white area is where you're going to create your circuit. So I'm just going to put something here for you to see, right? And then you're going to create the circuit that the assignment suggests. So these square box are the inputs. And let's say I just have an OR gate right here. Right? This is not your first assignment. This is just an example what you need to do, how you need to do the setup of the problem. Okay. Now, each of these square boxes, the input, so you need a label for that. So once you click on the square box, you have the information here down on the left side, and you can label, you can see the label here. This is the label, and you can call it A, for example, if that's what you need to label it. And for the second one, you can label it B. Okay. Or whatever names the assignment says for you to do. So here is my circuit, for example. It's just an OR gate. And if I want to test it, I click on the hand. And right now, both wires are submitting as 0. But if I click on A, now it switches the input from 0 to 1, and the output of the OR gate is 1. Obviously, if I turn on B, it's also a 1. All right. Now, we cannot have um, a circuit with for example, uh, let me just break this thing somehow for you to see. We cannot have a circuit with for example, red wire. Okay, so for example, if I do something here that's gonna make it red, right, or blue wires. Okay, so depending on what you do, you could cause the circuit to have a blue or red wire. That is not allowed. You have to fix this thing. So I'm just gonna undo everything here so that I can go back to what I had before, because we're just showing how you need to create. And why is the label not okay? Well, it's still not working. Okay, so here's my B. All right. All right. So here's the circuit, and you're going to label it whatever name the assignment says for you to label. Now, so this is circuit one within the first assignment. Now, you need to create another circuit. You cannot put it in the canvas with the full adder right here. You need to create another subfolder, a sub-circuit. So you're going to click on the unentitled or untitled, and you're going to add a circuit. And here's the new name for the second circuit is going to be two-line multiplexer. And then you're going to click OK. Now notice it creates a new environment or new canvas for you. And this is where your new circuit is going to be. So then you just, again, type in, create your circuit from whatever the assignment says you need to do. Here, I'm just going to do again, maybe just an end gate. And I'll put an end gate here. The other gates are right here. Okay. Not gate, end gate, or you're not going to need the NAND. You're not going to need the NOR, but you might need the XOR. The other ones you won't need. So maybe I'll put an XOR here. So let's pretend this is your second circuit. Okay, this is input A. This is input B. And you remember the XOR is only one where either one or the other is a 1. So let's test the circuit. So that's okay. That's okay. But now if both are 1s, this is going to be 0. Sure enough, it is 0. So the XOR is working. So notice we're almost done with circuit 1 and 2, the first assignment. So you should have a folder with your full adder. And you should have a subfolder here with the two-line multiplexer. And once you're ready, you have to name it correctly, this outer folder. So you're going to say save as, right? Make sure you know where this thing is being saved. Obviously, I'm going to just save it maybe in my D drive, and I'm going to label this whatever name I'm supposed to label, which I already know is homework circuit 1, 2, and your last name. Okay, and you're going to save it. Make sure your name, you know where you saved. And we're going to append the circuit extension. And look what happened right here in the upper left. You rename that folder, which was unentitled or untitled, to homework circuit 1 2 point dot my last name. So this, once you're ready, you finish this, you've labeled the file with the correct name, and you have your first subfolder and your second subfolder. This Logisim file is the file that you're going to say send to me on Brightspace. Now, in your second assignment, right? The second assignment is going to be homework circuits 3 and 4. There's going to be two assignments, and you're going to do the exact same thing. You are going to open the file that you submitted to me earlier, the week before, homework circuit 1 and 2. And you're going to add here, click on the main folder, add a circuit, and here's going to be your third circuit, whatever is it's going to be called. I'm going to call it third circuit. That's not the name. I'm just labeling something so I can write it here. And you're going to create this. For your fourth circuit, you're going to label whatever the name is, fourth circuit. And in this subfolder, you are going to type in your third circuit, and in the other one, you're going to type in your fourth circuit. Once you're done, you are going to save this file as not 1 and 2. You're going to save as 3 and 4. And it is going to update the name, but the previous circuits are already here. So your circuits 3 and 4 is going to have the first and the second circuits that you submitted the week before. All right, and this is exactly what you're going to do with circuits 5 and 6. The reason we need to do it that way is because circuits 5 and 6 are going to depend upon some of these earlier circuits, and they have to be in the same Logisim file in order for me to run them. Otherwise, I won't be able to run them, and you won't be able to run them either. Okay, so I hope this video clarifies exactly how you're supposed to create these circuits and the folder and the naming convention for your circuit assignments.